You could ask yourself the question is, are companies wasting $32 billion a year on market research? And actually, there's a hypothesis that says that's true. They are wasting a lot of that money. The history of market research is mostly asking you questions about your behaviour. Will you buy this? Do you travel there? What do you like? What don't you like? The problem is it can be difficult for you to answer those questions honestly. And if we've learned anything in the last 20 years from behavioural economics, from social psychology, from neuroscience, is that we're not rational human beings. We don't make trade-off grids of choice when we're buying peas in the supermarket. We don't make hierarchies of need when we're, choosing cars. We just buy stuff. And in order to infer what we might buy, maybe we need to ask smarter questions in research where you maybe predict the behaviour of other people, or where you interact with the questionnaire to ask you not what are you going to buy in a rational cognitive framework, but we ask you how you feel, how it makes you feel, how it makes you respond, because we now know that emotion drives behaviour much more than considered logic. The internet has fundamentally changed research also because the price of what you're asking has changed dramatically. You can get to people much more quickly. That price differential, however, is really about the insurance policy side of research. Most research is done by companies who want to make sure they're not making a big mistake. Most research is not done by companies when they're looking for what's better, what's the next best thing, what should I be doing? Yeah? And that's an interesting split. We mostly do it as an insurance policy. We should really do it to work out what's going to happen next. I think the real question is, can you humbly change the world? That's the dilemma you're trying to deal with. I think the best marketers are often very humble because it's all about kind of like understanding what's going on. But actually, if you think the best communicators are often slightly arrogant because they want to teach you something and they believe they know something that you don't. Yeah, and I think that's really where the industry pivots around an axis of, people like Sir Terry Leahy, who's about as humble a genius marketeer as it's possible to be. Yeah, he never thinks he's better than anybody, but has clearly proved himself to really understand what business needs to do to serve the needs of its customers, and say some of the more flamboyant names from the history of advertising who are clearly not, humble people, but they have helped change the world. If I think about will agencies ever have the role they maybe did in the mid-60s of being the key strategic advisor to businesses that wanted to grow and develop, I don't think advertising agencies have the skills and the talent inside them anymore to get back to that position as a key advisor. I think agencies will struggle because they have been supplanted by other advisors, whether it's investment bankers, lawyers, deal makers, management consultants. The real question is, should researchers find themselves a great role advising companies on all the knowledge and business that they have about how to do their business better? And I think that's possible. If you look at dunnhumby maybe as a data user, they've gone from a little company that was protected by, Terry Leahy just doing a little bit of fiddling around about club card data to a business so strategically important that Tesco's has paid hundreds of millions buying it. Anybody who can help companies interpret the tsunami of data that they can now gather from customers about their behaviour and desires and wants and needs, and apply smart thinking to making money out of that insight and knowledge, will do well. I personally don't believe the number one slot in that category is going to be held by traditional advertising agents. What the communications industry needs to understand is the new, shiny, lovely ideas that it puts into the public domain get tumbled and recycled and improved and enhanced and adopted, or not, by the public. And that's what communications is about. If you watch someone telling you your story back, that's brilliant. That's very satisfying.